got hit all right. We went to the North Atlantic. We were going to England and then to Russia. And it was an old West Coast type of ship, Hog Island type. Then that was the first time I went into action. We were a convoy of about 73 ships, and only 23 got back to the States. See, so we took a hit off of Scotland on our way over to Norway. And we were picked up by a Canadian corvette, and they had them in the convoys. See, Americans didn't have hardly any escorts in the convoys. Everything was British and Dutch and, you know, the other Allied convoys, they were called. So anyway, we had suffered air attacks. I was in 3 or 4 air attacks before we got sunk. And we were picked up and put on a British ship called, I don't know the name of it, but it was a passenger ship, and they stripped it down and laid a lot of concrete blocks in it and mounted all these anti-aircraft guns. See, so it was called an ACAC ship, anti-aircraft ship, and so they used it for survivors. See. And while we're on there, we work and we stand watches and all, you know, we do it. And then later we're transferred to ship and sent back to England. And we stayed there for interrogation for a week or so. And then another ship brought us back to the States.
What did being on a ship getting sunk do for you?
Well, it messed with your mind. A lot of times you can't. You go day by day, or you're thinking all kinds of things, and you're worrying all the time, because anytime you're out on that water, you know, you don't sleep enough. That's another thing. You don't get a chance to get enough sleep. So you got your chores or your watches to stand, and then you got to then at dawn you got to general quarters. Or anytime they pick up a submarine or something, general quarters. You're running, you got your clothes. You never hardly take your clothes off, you know. After a while, it messes your mind up, you know. I never told you about the next time I got torpedoed. I took a ship that went to South America, went to Brazil, a ship called Mormac Mar, yeah. And coming back from there we had a load of manganese ore on it, and we got up close to Trinidad in South America, north of South America there, and we got hit by a torpedo. And of course the ship was overloaded. Oh, it was weighed down anyway. I fell when I was on my way down the engine room about 3:30 in the morning. And when it hit and it jarred my hands loose and I fell on my chest, and the engineers, when things settled down, they picked me up and they got me up on deck. And of course, we always had our life preservers on the rails, you know. So they put these 2 life preservers on me, set me on deck because it was black, everything was blacked out. And the ship started listing, and I must have rolled over. Rolled off because they had chain fence, but the chains had broke, and I was in the water. See, I was unconscious. When I came to, the ship was gone, but the crew had got away in the lifeboats. See, but it must have been. I still can't understand how I didn't see no, because it was early morning, you know. And that water is cold, and there's a lot of fuel oil, see. So when I came to, I was covered with fuel oil all over my arms and in my life preserver and everything, you know. And for a while I panicked there, being in this water. So, and when you're low on the water, you can't see very far, see. But evidently this British cruiser, she was following the convoy, you know, and she was about ready to turn and go back down the coast when she spotted me. Somebody on it spotted me, but you know, they didn't have you couldn't open their signals, but she sped up and went up and caught the last destroyer in a convoy, and they came and signaled them, semaphores, that somebody was in the water. But now later they picked up the captain and the other boat. But this destroyer come by and picked me up, and I stayed on, and they cleaned me up and everything as best they could, and they took a shot into Port of Spain and brought me to the hospital. See, in the meantime, the captain and the two boats that survived, they were picked up, and he communicated with the company, and the company told him that I was to go to the hospital. But I must have been pretty bad. I was burnt with this fuel oil and stuff. Anyway, so I went to Colonial Hospital, 4.5 months. Yeah, and here's the hooks of it all. Every time you're torpedoed and you lose a ship, your pay stops. See, so I lost 2.5 months' pay a few years before that, and then this one time I lost 4.5 months' pay. That's why this bill. That's why they wanted me to talk for this bill. Because, see, I didn't get all the gratuities that the armed forces got. The merchant seamen didn't get that. And then we didn't get the Bill of Rights.